All right. I have gotten a lot of questions about what is the best way to onboard a client. I've also just heard a lot of different ways that agencies are onboarding clients. And I want to share with you guys the best process that I have found for onboarding clients. So let's go all the way over here. So we have client says yes, right? Now, common mistake that I see, and if you're doing this, you got to stop. Common mistake that I see is client says yes, and we actually go, okay, we'll send you the contract and we will send you the payment link and just take care of those and then we'll move forward. Do not do this. Do not send them a contract. Do not send them a payment link. In all of my agencies and the way that I've always operated, the process of onboarding does not start until we take payment. So what we say to them is actually to start the whole onboarding process, we actually have to take payment right now. So are you ready to do that? And then what this allows you to do is if there is any objection or if there is a reason they're not ready to take payment right now, you can address it right there on the call, right? Because usually like if they ask, oh, okay, hey, that's not my thing. If they say, hey, send me the contract and I'll take a look at it, that's just a stall tactic. And what you're doing by sending this stuff, you're giving them the opportunity to think about it and potentially back out. They've already made the decision. They said yes. They think this is a good thing with them. It is natural human behavior for us to think about it, get scared about it, and then back out. And you don't want them to do that. So you can tell them, hey, the way our process works is we take payment and then all this other stuff happens. So are you ready to do that? And if it push really comes to shove and they're not ready to do it, then I would book another call, right? I would go over here and I would book a call 2 to 3 days later. And then this is a payment call, right? Now, if they're ready to go, then just take payment, right? Or if they're, if you're showing up to the Shark Tank calls, then really, if they're not ready to go, then just ask them why and figure out what's happening. You said yes. The next logical step in the process is to take payment. What's going on, right? And then you can address the objection right there. But because it's uncomfortable, most of the time we'll just say, okay, cool. I'll just send the payment link and the contract, and you can mull those over whenever you want, right? So don't do that. Take payment first. So day one, we take payment, right? Sales team takes payment. And then right after we take payment, we're going to schedule this onboarding call 3 to 4 days later. Now, if you are the account manager and the salesperson in your agency, well, then you're going to take payment and you're going to schedule the onboarding call with you. If that's with somebody else, the client success manager on your team, you're going to schedule it with them. Or if your sales team is taking calls, they are going to schedule with your client success manager for that onboarding call. But we want to schedule that onboarding call right after taking payment. And then I actually have these backwards. We should do the enrollment form, but you guys will get it. It all happens on day one. And then we want to do a welcome call. So what's a welcome call? If the client success manager or somebody other than the salesperson is going to support the client, you want to give them a welcome call right away. And I want to say, hey, my name is so-and-so, Gil. We're so happy to have you at XYZ agency. I got all the information from Mr. Salesperson. We're going to meet in 3 days on the onboarding call. I'm so excited to have you. I just wanted to say that welcome, right? Welcome to the family. That statistically, this welcome call has shown to improve client satisfaction, decrease attrition or improve your retention, and increase LTV from a silly little call. So we implemented this in my agency a long time ago, and it made a big difference, right? And you can look it up. You can ChatGPT it. There's an actual stat that clients that get welcome called, there's also less buyer's remorse. So do these welcome calls. Now, if you are the salesperson and the client success manager, okay, then you might skip it. You just say it on the call. But if you're not, if you're handing off here, you got to do these welcome calls. They are too easy and too impactful. And then you're going to set up a form in Go High Level, in Jot form, whatever you want. And that Jot form or that Go High Level form is going to have tasks assigned to it, automations assigned to it. And this is going to trigger all of your internal client tasks. So all the things that need to happen to get your client live. It's going to send the welcome email to the client right away. And it's also going to send the contract at this point. So now we have our contract going to our client at this point. Another issue that I see, even agencies that take payment right away, the next step is the contract, and nothing happens until the contract is signed. And you might be saying, well, we got to get the contract signed. So we don't want to do all this stuff, right? I would say that about the payment. You actually want to take the payment because you don't want to do all this stuff if they're going to end up backing out. But I see that happen a lot. We send payment, we send contract, we do all this stuff, welcome call, enrollment form, whatever. And then the payment never happened and the client backs out and now you've done all this work. So nothing happens until we take payment. And with regards to the contract, you don't want this to be a barrier after they've made payment, because if they just made payment and then it's crickets, nothing but a contract, there's actually, again, a higher likelihood for buyer's remorse and for them to back out. So you want to start the process. You want to do the onboard. You want to schedule the onboarding call. You want them to get the welcome call. You want them to get the welcome email. You want all these tasks to start happening. So they're like, all right, everything's moving. I'm excited about this, right? Like these guys have their stuff together. I took payment and boom, all this stuff happened, right? If you put the contract as a barrier between all these other things that are happening and it's crickets for your clients, again, there's a higher likelihood that they're going to be like, well, I just paid these guys thousands of dollars and now nothing is happening. So this is just a formality, in my opinion. It'll happen. It'll get taken care of if you do all this stuff right. So do all this, submit the enrollment form. They're going to get a welcome email. It's going to say you got to sign your contract. You're going to have all your ClickUp tasks, and then they're going to get the contract. And then if they don't sign it, you can just chase them down and be like, hey, we need, in order to get you live here on launch day, we need your contract. So take care of that, right? So that triggers that. And then all of the, your enrollment form should be tied to your tasks. Here's all your little tasks that have to happen. The form creates all those tasks for the client. And then all those tasks are what get your clients to launch day, right? So then now we have the actual onboarding call, right? That's 3 to 4 days after they made payment and been enrolled. Then we have a launch call on day 5 to 7 days after they paid. And then we go to our regular cadence. So you might be thinking, Gil, why do we need a welcome call, an onboarding call, and a launch call? I'll tell you why. The welcome call, I've already explained the purpose of that, right? That's just a strategy to improve their experience with you. The onboarding call is, there are things other than the internal stuff up here that you need to get from your client, whether it be, you're doing brand management from their socials, or you're doing SEO and you need access to their website, or you're doing paid ads and you need access to their ad account. Whatever it is, there are things that they need to get you. So from here, we're going to tell them all those things. And then on the onboarding call, we're going to make sure we have all those things, because you can't put the responsibility in your client to move things forward. It will end up taking you tons of time, right? That's what I was writing down here, 14 to 16 days, if you're letting them manage it. So this allows you to give them a deadline, move things forward. And then this call, when you get on it, is like, hey, we don't have these things. We need them. Please get them to us. You can even do it right now on this call. And then in 2 days, two to 3 days after this call, we are going to be on your launch call going live. And that's why I need to make sure that you have everything, right? So welcome call excites them. Onboarding call, make sure they have their stuff together. Launch call is where they actually go live and you set all the expectations for how the program is going to work, working with you, the partnership, and then the regular cadence from that time frame forward. However you're meeting with your clients and communicating with them, you move into your regular cadence. When we have removed these, or when we have went right from payment to a launch call, the onboarding for clients has been like 12 to 16 days, because we're chasing them down. We're trying to get stuff. We're communicating back and forth. There's not these actual milestone calls to move things forward. And you might say, well, what's the big deal if it's 12 to 16 days? It is a big deal. Longer onboarding timelines lead to lower client satisfaction rates, higher churn rates. They're not getting results. They're not happy about that. You want them to start feeling the results of your program as quickly as possible. And also, if you're not billing them until they go live, you're literally not collecting money. Or even if you're billing them, but you're not starting their time until they go live, that means you're losing 16 days potentially of revenue. That's a half a month of revenue. And when you start to scale out your agency, this has a big financial impact. So, my agency at one point, I think we got it down to like 3 to 5 days. Some days, some clients, it takes a little bit longer, but these 3 calls allow us to hold them accountable, move it forward, and we take responsibility for hitting launch day and not them. Because if you put it in their hands, they'll drag their feet. They're busy. They have a bunch of other stuff going on. So there are a lot of different ways you can onboard a client, and there's a lot of different processes, but this, in my opinion, we've tried them all, is by far the best, hands down. And the most important piece of this is they say yes, you take payment. None of this stuff happens until you take payment, because you just don't want to open yourself up to do all of these things for somebody who doesn't even start working with you. It takes time and energy to do these. And it also allows you to address whatever the delay is or the objection if they don't want to make payment, right? So it's just a formality. It's how it works. You say yes, we take payment, then we do all the things, right? One other thing. Some people ask what if they want to see the contract or they want to read the contract? That's fine. Just pull it up on the call and say, let's look through it. Now, the other thing I get is, some people really want to go through it. They don't want to be rushed in a 10-minute call to do it. Well, that's fine. Then go back to what I said earlier. Schedule a payment call 2 days later. So don't onboard them. Send them a PDF contract, right? So send a contract, a PDF contract, and then you schedule this, and then they review it, and then we go here, and then we just go back here. Then we go back down here to payment, that would actually be, I'm having too much fun using this. That would actually be, we'd schedule, right? So we go here, they don't want to do payment, we send a PDF. If they need more time for whatever crazy reason, if not, just pull it up, we take their payment, and then we schedule their onboarding call, and then this happens. This is by far the best process that I've ever put together. We tried them all for onboarding clients. So the automation that happens with all this stuff, we'll dive deeper in that. Also get on Hunter's call and he could talk about that and answer a lot of questions. But for an overarching process, this is the best way to do it. All right. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.